Hi, welcome everybody to the bonus special edition of the Triad Wars Twitch stream. I'm Andrew Collins, I'm the community manager, and I'll let the guys introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, I'm Raul. I'm a technical designer for the project.
Hey guys, Steve, design director on the project.
Okay, so first off, let's start by a quick apology. So for those of you who joined us yesterday, it was we were pretty much assaulted by the technical gremlins. And so we made the call and we thought, let's do this all again because, you know, the weapons are so much fun. Let's just, you know, have a blast. So what we're going to do today is the guys have spent this morning creating a specific build for our stream today. We've got a huge range of weapons that we're going to be showing off. So you'll see some stuff that we've not revealed before yesterday, of course. Yesterday was we're going to call yesterday our dress rehearsal for today.
Live.
So, guys, we've got some questions, but yeah, we've got the questions up here. So any questions, just ask those questions. So guys, let's get it started. So Steve, do you want to start talking about the kind of the basics of the weapons in Triad Wars?
Yeah, so we wanted to touch on the weapons today, you know, as Andrew's been describing, but there's a bunch of stuff. So first thing first is new in Triad Wars is how many weapons you can hold at any one time. So we have a loadout system that you can hold up to 3 weapons and carry around at the same time, and then swap between as you're running around the world or raiding players. And that's broken up into basically 3 main categories. You can hold up to 1 melee weapon, 1 single-handed ranged weapon, and a double-handed ranged weapon. And we've got a few different ones to choose from, so Raul maybe will flip through, have a look, see what we got here. So you can see.
Just a quick, Raul, do you want to show the controller to everybody? So we've had some questions about whether we use the controller.
We are playing on the controller, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So sorry, Steve, you were talking about the different weapons?
Yeah, so we've got quite a range here. You can see as far as melee weapons go, we've basically got 3 categories, subcategories that those break down into. And you can play with bladed weapons, so things like knives, machetes, butcher's knives, meat cleavers, and then blunt weapons, so things like bats, shovels, and then special weapons, or my favorite category, things like fish and other weird objects that you could just use to bludgeon someone bloody. So what are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick the shovel.
All right. So Raul's a shovel man. Well, you didn't select there, did you?
Yeah, it is there.
All right.
You
We
know what, I'm
got,
gonna
we got
go
some
for it.
bugs. That's all
Let's
right.
go for simple.
Oh, there we go.
First.
All right, kitchen knife. You got to get up close and personal that way.
How about a 50 cal pistol?
So yeah, so single-head weapons, generally pistols. We got various range of pistols. Right here we've got 2 that Raul can choose from. They range from automatic pistols to all sorts of special weapons in this category as well. We'll probably have a look at those soon. And then in double-handed weapons, they break down into essentially 3 categories. We've got shotguns, SMGs, and full-on assault rifles. So let's see, what are you going to pick here?
The UFC.
All right.
Let's do that.
So why'd you pick that one?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
That's got a higher rate of fire, better accuracy, less impact on
Right.
bullets. So that's another thing to actually touch on. So each one of these weapons that we're looking at, each come with a different set of properties associated to the weapon. So for example, you might have one pistol that's got higher ammo capacity and better accuracy, but low on damage, you know, standard stuff. A second pistol that has high damage, you know, low on capacity and is slower to reload, stuff like that.
So a quick question, Kebab asks, do we do group hugs?
Group hugs?
I'm pretty sure at the end of the stream we will be doing a group hug. You know, it's like, we're like cheerleaders, you know, we're all doing high fives before we started today's stream, and so, you know, we all like to get ourselves as pumped up.
This is a special request or a question? I'm not
It's a question.
It feels like a request.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll do a group hug to end, but
All right.
with the audio issues we had yesterday, there's no way we're moving these mics.
Not yet.
We've pretty much got a barrier. It's like a decontamination zone around the microphone system, so yeah, we're not touching a thing.
So Raul's getting in the vehicle. One of the things we wanted to talk about today as well is just the contextual nature of weapons in the game. and the fact that they have different uses, different weapons have different uses at different times. So in this case, Raul's driving around in his sweet exotic car that I won't name by name as. Well, let's move on. And he can use any single-handed weapon while he's driving. So what he couldn't do, for example, is use a shotgun because it's just got too much kickback and he wouldn't be able to handle that one-handed while in the vehicle.
Jump. You got to do that jump.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sorry, Steve, I had to interrupt there. So speaking of drive-bys, can I do a drive-by fish slapping?
You can't. So we're working on something. Actually, I don't want to give too much away, but something similar to that is in the works.
Oh, great. I'm definitely putting
We've
that as
got
a change request.
We've got operations where
Yeah, shoot from up there. Okay, vertical shooting.
Yeah.
hey, it's still,
Whoa.
you're still
Careful
in
with the
decent
pug bun
condition.
guy. Are you hungry?
Yeah,
Or are you
okay,
just
I won't
a
do that.
psychopath?
Yeah, I won't do that. I like that guy.
Yeah.
So, other contextual things you can do with weapons, for example, is if Raul was actually driving the passenger seat and one of his gang members was driving the vehicle, then he could use an assault rifle, he could use any two-handed weapon he wants, which really changes up his possibilities.
How about this?
What are you going to do now? So just a quick question that people are asking on the chat. The build that we're using today is a special build that Steve created specifically for this demo. So you're going to see some stuff which you won't have seen. We're going to be showing off the weapons favors. It's only just going to be a really tiny hint of the favors because it's such a big feature that we're going to be devoting the Twitch stream that we'll be doing in 2 weeks all about favors.
Yeah, we definitely want to get into that, but today, actually maybe it's a good time to talk about that. So
Let's see if I can pull this up.
all right, Raul's got something special up his sleeve here.
Oh,
Able to do it?
Oh, nice. I like that a
I think
lot.
the cops are not gonna be happy about that.
Sure, you've drawn the attention of the cops, but rightly so.
Yeah.
Generally, you light a car on fire and blow it up in the middle of the street.
So just while we're doing this, there's a question from Gorbachev Shiv says, how much control do you have over your henchmen?
We'll get a bit into this in a minute as well, but you can basically upgrade specific classes of your gang members.
Yep.
So your gang members are broken up into essentially 4 classes: strikers, quick strikers, brawlers, and grapplers. And each one of those classes has different attributes associated to them. So the amount of damage they do with a grapple, special abilities, things like that. And you'll be able to upgrade each one of those independently. And the way you do that is by using up upgrade points that you earn through combat.
Right.
And maybe we can go and have a look at that in a minute. But because Raul's in a cop chase, he won't be able to access that menu. So once you're in the action, once you're in trouble, you can't just jump into the upgrade screen and start deciding you want this or that. You need to make those decisions ahead of time. But that is one of the areas. So going back to the weapons, those upgrades are associated to the weapons as well. So you can upgrade each one of the different classes of weapons that I mentioned before. You know, the pistols, the SMGs, the assault rifles. There you
to
go.
get into that cop car. Thank you guys. I really needed a better car.
You might want to turn those lights off. It's drawing a little attention.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
All
Subtlety was never your strong point.
That's
So,
how you escape the cops.
Steve, quick question from John Silly. He's talked about the levels and he said, what's the maximum level that a user can get to at the moment?
So right now, the cap is 30 on your enforcer, and all of those, each time you earn a level, you earn upgrade points to assign to either your enforcer or your gang.
Okay.
And like we were talking about before, you can choose to upgrade each specific gang member's class in both their efficiency with weapons, and their performance with weapons, and their performance without. So you can choose, say for example, that you want to make sure that all of your gang members are really skilled with shotguns, and you make sure that you build up a good artillery of shotguns, because anything that you unlock for your enforcer, your gang has access to as well.
Okay. And so, let's see, 1337 Ultimate asks, are there any different combat techniques that we've added for Triad Wars?
So we have something in the pipe that we're working on. I don't want to talk about today.
No spoilers.
But you know what? I'm so excited about it. I'll just give a little tease on it.
Okay.
But Sleeping Dogs had a lot of different combat styles that we mixed in. And then we had some different things like if you guys played the DLC before, there was different styles that we kind of focused on with like Muay Thai or Drunken Master style.
Yeah.
And we figured, why not let you choose what you like to use? So we may have something coming down in the future that allow players to customize that in a way.
Nice. Okay. So there's another question from the chat. Is one of the guys is asking about? It's the same guy. Is asking about how much customization do you have over the vehicles?
So right now we don't have anything in the build that you can customize vehicles with. Each vehicle is a separate model, similar to weapons, in that if you want a vehicle that's stronger at, say, that has a higher top speed or better handling or whatever the attribute is that you're looking for, is more armored and takes more damage, you need to actually go out and acquire another vehicle and then choose to select that in your garage, because you can basically save out a stable of vehicles in your garage and then use whichever one you want that's right for the thing that you're doing at the time.
Okay.
But similar to weapons are the same way. So each weapon has a specific set of attributes associated to it, whether it's the accuracy of that weapon, the amount of ammo that that weapon carries, the amount of damage that it deals. And then if you want to change that out, you're going to need to get new weapons through, one of two ways. So you can get it through favors. Actually, maybe we can have a look at that before you get into the raid, Raul.
Let's do that.
So as you play through the game, you're gonna acquire a bunch of different contacts throughout the game, by force and by friendlier means.
Yep.
And those contacts will hook you up with favors. And like Andrew said, we're gonna get into the favors a bit more in a future Twitch stream. But this is one of the ways to get access to weapons. And access to these weapons through favors works in two different ways as well. One of which is temporary access to weapons. So for example, check out one of those weapons that's temporary there, Raul. Like there. So you got access to a cleaver for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that would be a more common favor that you could get in the game. It allows you to use it for a couple of raids. Test it out, see if you like it. And then we have other favors that are rare, and those ones will give you permanent access to different weapons.
Okay, so we've got another question then. No More Heroes asks, will you be able to customize your characters on top of kind of changing their clothing and things like that?
Right now, we've got the ability to change not just the clothing, but also your hairstyles and your physical features in terms of your face. So things like facial hair, the general head, you can swap out heads. You can swap it with any of the hairstyles. And then we've got some ideas on how we could do more body modifications and mass changes, so you could be the big bulky dude or you could be the skinnier dude.
Right.
And those are things that we're working on, but we don't have working in the build
kind
yet.
of got Sammo Hung versus Jackie Chan, that type of stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So Orange Soda 1991 says, what's the group play in Triad Wars?
So we don't want to get too much into that either. We've got some plans in the future. But what we can say is that we are looking at ways to play co-op with other people in your triad, and that's something that we're still in the middle of developing and figuring out. So nothing quite yet.
Let's get Raul into this raid, because you can see he's absolutely itching. It's been at
biting,
least 5 minutes
he's
since he
to go.
shot someone.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
He's all, so we're looking at a different raid that we've not really seen the seafood guys before.
Actually, he's jumped the fence into a minibus racket.
Oh, okay.
So actually, this is a good time to talk about our combat props. So obviously, we have different melee weapons, different range weapons, pistols, shotguns, assault rifles. But everything you see in the environment, or a lot of the things you see in the environment, can be used as weapons as well. The tables, you can see Raul just used the door of that truck to smash that guy's head.
Yeah. Oh, and
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Left a blood splatter on that plywood.
So this guy that you were just beating up, he had like a transparent white circle over him. What does that mean?
Which guy?
There was a guy that Raul had quite badly beaten up, and he was like laid out on the floor. Was he knocked out?
Raul had stunned that enemy,
right.
And essentially that opens them up to do special moves. So these are the types of things you can unlock as you level up, is different moves that you can perform when a player is stunned, or different contextual moves depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can see the guys who are flashing red right now. That's just an indicator for, oh, here's my favorite.
Oh.
There you go.
Always gets
You know, I've still been thinking, I'm not quite sure of a good pun for that.
Oh, you had your chance yesterday and today. So.
Yeah, I know. It's, so anybody who's watching there, if you can think of a good catchphrase that we could say when we drop an engine onto someone, you know, we're very open to ideas. Because, you know, we've got some great ones planned for the fish and the eels, and I mean, I say great ones, they're just going to be ones that I'm going to regurgitate from now and forever.
So you can see as Raul's moving through the rooms, different things are available to him. So down there he's got a pot of, I don't know what kind of soup, but I know I probably wouldn't want to be dumped into it like this guy's getting.
burned that face. Ouch.
Oh, I've got this. Waiter, there's a guy in my soup.
How about this?
Oh, I shouldn't take so much pride in those.
No, it's hard. You know, I feel almost obligated to go with that. But
Sorry, that one.
they're just horrible.
That was an obvious one. Chill out.
The Arnie jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can always rely on Arnie.
So each one of these rackets that Raul just went to the minibus racket, and now he's moving on to the next racket. It looks like this one is a loan sharking racket. And each racket has different objects, different environmental props that you can interact with. So in this case, he's dialing out.
Oh, not
Come on,
bad.
help me out here.
Wrong number?
Yeah, wrong. There you go.
Keep going, guys.
And in each racket, as you upgrade it, and more of the racket becomes available, and it keeps building up more rooms and more guys and more props that you can load up. You'll get different combat props to use.
Yeah.
So
Whoa, guns.
kind of
Run
changes.
away.
Oh,
Run away.
Look at all that blood.
Oh! You shot the propane tank.
To run away from this.
Yeah,
Just disarm them. Disarm them. Disarm them.
there you go.
So that's one of the other ways that you can get weapons in the game.
Yeah.
Aside from unlocking them with favors, any weapons that your rivals have and that the enemies are using, you can disarm at any time.
This is
Now the difference
chaotic.
is Raul only has temporary access to this weapon. So I can't actually tell which pistol he's using. It looks like possibly a 50 cal that he's using,
Yeah.
which he didn't have unlocked. So he only had a
Okay.
9mm unlocked, which was a weaker
right.
weapon.
Yeah.
This weapon is actually stronger. So the rival that he's fighting has a stronger pistol. In this case, he gets to try it out and use it for a little while. When
Okay.
he's done, if he dies, he's going to lose that weapon. Or if he finishes the raid, then he'll revert back to his default loadout.
Okay, so we got a question from Gorbachev Shiv, and he says, can you attack anyone in the game, or is it just those people in Triad?
So you can, you will get match made with rivals that are around your level based on their turf and how much they've built up their turf, and also how much they've upgraded their enforcer, what their face is. So, and we can get to a face in another time. But,
I think actually he's wondering if he can pull a Raul and just go around the streets of Hong Kong shooting anybody.
Oh yes,
Absolutely.
yeah. So obviously it's an open world. You know, you can run around Hong Kong, and if your type of thing is to beat up old ladies, snatch their purses and whack them with it, not my thing.
How does
but
that
if it's your
work for you,
thing,
Raul?
You can do it.
I do not do that.
No.
I try.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Control
lots
myself.
of makeshift weapons you can find in the open world as well. So you could grab some dude's shopping bag, slap around with it a little bit.
You can actually get that purse that you took from the old lady and use it against somebody else.
Yep. You find a pork
Oh,
bun
here we
vendor
go.
who's got a propane tank hooked up to his stall, and you want to just send him flying. You
Oh,
can blow
look at
it
that!
up.
I just.
Oh, you stabbed him to
Oh,
the
there you
ground.
go.
Okay.
So there was a contextual attack that I was talking about before. Is Raul's got the knife, and
you're
he's able to
staying
pin the guy to
pinned.
the ground
Yeah.
and keep him while he works on someone else.
Oh,
Here's the fish
yes.
He just keeps getting worse and worse.
Oh. There was something fishy about that death.
Yeah.
Or you really put him to the sword?
So if Raul, for example, if he was still holding that knife, he's used up that knife now.
Right.
But because he stabbed the guy twice and pinned him to the ground. But if he was next to a table or the wall, for example, he could actually grab that guy's hand and put the knife through his hand and keep him pinned to the wall
Okay.
or the table. So depending on the weapon you're using and the unlocks that you've gotten based on your level, there's lots of different ways to use each of the weapons in the game.
Oh.
There you go. Come on, come on.
Eel tank.
That's a shocking death.
There you go.
So I'm just thinking, the guy you pinned to the wall with the knife, You could just say, stick around.
So in this next room, this is where they're processing the fish. And you can see they got the hooks for hanging fish, but Raul decided to use that in a different way.
So there's a few people asking about the release date. At the moment, we've not got a solid release date, but we're working on figuring out when that will be.
Boy.
As soon as we have a release date for the open beta, we will be broadcasting it everywhere, so you won't be able to miss it.
Yeah. We've still got beta builds running. We're still running betas, and it's been really helpful. All of the feedback we've been getting from you guys. So each time we do one of those, we learn a lot. We get to fix up a lot. And it helps us focus on what we do moving forward. And also all the feedback we're getting through the surveys from the beta testers. So thank you everyone for that. And also our forum. So we're only streaming this for the next half hour or whatever, but please get on the forums and keep letting us know what your thoughts are on what you're seeing today.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the things we wanted to stress, we said this yesterday a little bit, but actually, to be fair, you probably couldn't hear us, is that when the, and again, we just want to apologize for that and thank everyone who did sit through it and bear with us. We really did appreciate your help with that. And going back to the feedback, is that some people, often you think you don't want to give bad feedback or negative feedback because it might be harsh.
I really don't mind.
We don't mind if there's something you don't like about the game. We still want to know it. We don't just want the forums and the feedback sessions to be praised, because if you don't like something, we don't know that it needs to be fixed or changed if people don't tell us. So the key to that is just give us good feedback. If you don't like something, tell us why you don't like it. What was the problems that you had with it? So like I said yesterday, telling us something sucks doesn't really help us. Telling us why it sucks, in your opinion, that's what really helps us.
Yeah, definitely. Raul, there's a fish guts tank behind you. You got to use that thing. This is one of my favorites.
I was thinking about this other one.
Oh, you're gonna use the aquarium.
Yeah, I want to see if I get a fish.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's a lobster in there.
Oh, there's no fish.
No
that's
fish. It was an
unfortunate.
empty tank.
All right.
Looks like you
So that's a good point. So Raul put his head through that tank. Some of the tanks have live fish in them, and the fish will fall out. And then Raul can actually pick up the fish and slap some guy around with a fish.
I was just unlucky this
Also
time.
one of my favorites.
All right.
So where are we now in the
So
raid?
we've done all these raids.
Yeah, I'm
All the
running out of
rackets.
time, so might
Yeah,
as well.
Raul's running out of time here.
Might
He's
as well
gonna
get out.
flee to fight another day.
All right. So while he's running away, Decryptor, I'm assuming, he says, will you expand the map for more raiding and so on? But let's talk about the size of the map in the beta at the moment.
Yeah, so what we've been using in the beta so far has been North Point, if you're familiar with Sleeping Dogs. It's one district of 4 in our game that make up our Hong Kong island. And so we've been isolating the beta to that area and focusing on that. We've got plans for each of the other districts in the future, and some new features that may come along with each of those districts. So we're planning that stuff to unroll that stuff later.
All right. Let's unlock a grenade launcher.
So there's another question.
So maybe Raul, just real quickly. So he's unlocked a grenade launcher, which is attached to his assault rifle.
Okay.
And like we were talking about before, Raul's just raided a few guys and he's earned some XP along the way. So he can actually choose to use the points that he's earned through upgrading or through the XP to upgrade his performance with those weapons.
Take a
Like
look.
Golden Cleaver, that's another good choice.
Let's actually take a look at those upgrades.
So what are we seeing here if we scroll a little more?
So what we're looking at right now is the Enforcer upgrade tree.
Yeah.
So you can see Raul's looking through the firearms section, and he can choose to upgrade different properties of each of the weapon classes. So in this case, he can look at, he's looking at, well, what are you going to upgrade, Raul? I don't
Let's
know.
do accuracy.
All right, so he's going to upgrade the accuracy with his pistol.
Actually, more assault rifle accuracy.
And yeah, you just unlocked the assault rifle, so I think that would be a good idea.
And a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe reload speed.
And then like we were saying, you can also switch to your gang upgrades and improve their abilities with those weapons as well.
Okay.
Cool. So we just upgraded 4 or 5 things there.
Let's take a look. How about this sort of storm?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Well, that's the one we had yesterday when you were practically running away from you.
Exactly. And a nice little assault rifle with a grenade launcher.
So some of these weapons have special abilities. I'm not sure if this is working yet, but if Raul pulls out the Sword of Storms, we should start to get some rain. Yeah, there we go. So the weather's changing, and
Wow.
and now it's going to start raining.
Okay.
I like it.
That's a fairly impressive
It
weapon
makes
you've
us
got there.
feel kind of at home in Vancouver.
Yeah, very much so. Nice grey skies.
Yeah.
So, Hitachin33 says, what are the plans for social stuff in the game, like player versus player, clan wars? You know, what's the motivation for players to play against each other?
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of stuff that we're working on and looking at for the future. Again, we'll focus on those in future Twitch streams, but you can join up with friends and chat with friends through the game at any time.
Okay.
You don't even have to join up into the same triad, and we're looking at a full feature set around forming your own triads and some competition gameplay in there as well. And then, like I said, we've also got some ideas around co-op and how you could play and attack rivals with your friends.
I mean, one of the things we found interesting in the game is when the leaderboards, because we'll be testing the game, and then one of the guys will be getting so annoyed with someone else because he's constantly beating them on the leaderboard. I mean, there's I don't want to list any names, but if we were talking about melee weapons, I think we may not be talking about the type of weapons in the game, but so leaderboards are pretty good, particularly when you're playing with friends and you see them. I mean, that's a really good start for when the game is featured.
Yeah, we're definitely focusing on just ways for players to connect first, and then we want to unroll those features once we actually have some meat behind them.
Yeah.
So
Some
we're working
pork.
on them right now, and
Some pork behind them.
some pork and some It just won't stop.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a poll
going.
on the Twitch stream or on the forums. How many people want to hear Andrew's jokes?
Oh.
Or how many people would rather see him, I don't know, do something else that humiliates him? Like wear a funny hat each
Hey,
Twitch stream.
last-
That would be a good idea.
In the Christmas hat, I was the one with the
That's
Father
true.
Christmas gear.
That's true.
You wouldn't, you were worried about your hair.
Revelations.
Yeah. Oh, of course, you were busy on vacation.
Yeah. I was enjoying my time.
Yeah. We're watching Steve and I dress. Oh, to be fair, Steve did put the Santa hat on very
That's true.
briefly.
I did put it on. I did
Very,
put-
very
but
briefly.
There was supposed to be an elf hat, and it never. Oh,
Oh, yes.
That's gotta hurt.
so there's another example of contextual attack. So Raul had the sword. Each melee weapon has its own move set associated to it. So for example, the sword has big sweeping attacks. If he was using the knife, it would be a much tighter kind of slicing attacks. If he was using something like a butcher's knife, then it would be much more like blunt chopping style moves. So each one of these things comes with kind of their own gameplay style.
So, Steve, I've got some bad news for you.
What's that?
They want to hear the jokes.
Oh, they want to hear the
Ah, you win.
Thank you very much, everyone out there. I will redouble my efforts. And he was so annoyed, he had to vent.
I'll give you credit on that one. That was good. I like that. That
It
was
worked.
good.
That's pretty quick as well.
You came up with that fast. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Andrew sits up at night trying to think of these things ahead of time.
I do sit up at night thinking of Triad Wars, you're right.
Yeah.
I guess my love of the Arnie movies is showing here. So ESL Rethink, and hello from yesterday again. He says, can enemies disarm your weapons?
Oh,
And
yeah.
can they use the environment attacks against you?
So yes, partially. So this happened actually yesterday in the Twitch stream with Raul, and it was slightly embarrassing for him.
Yeah,
It was
never.
that one of
It
the
wasn't
thugs,
so much embarrassing. It was annoying. I was angry at
one of
that
the
guy.
thugs took away his knife and then stabbed him with it.
Okay, let's
So
let
yes,
this guy
that can
take it
happen.
away. Let's see if he will. This guy is not a grappler.
He
so
might not have been
not want to.
upgraded. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like we've got an open elevator door there.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
begging for someone
Okay, let's try
to
that.
go have a look.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
See
take
you
the
later.
stairs. Oh, you really gave him the shaft.
Okay.
Here's some drywall, so you can use the drywall.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
pretty good.
drywall. What could I do?
Bang.
And so the other thing to note here is, so Raul's been running around, he's been jumping in between using combat props, melee weapons, ranged weapons. There's nothing stopping Raul from choosing to use one weapon over another. It's really about what you've upgraded and what your style of play is. The enemies are set ahead of time, so you might walk into one encounter and everyone's sitting there waiting with assault rifles aimed on you, through the sights. You might walk into the next encounter and everyone's actually going to grapple you and fight you hand to hand. So you can kind of switch back and forth, and if you walk into a room with a pistol and no one else has a pistol, the enemies will try to tackle you and take the weapon away from you. If you walk into the room and they feel like they just can't get to you, they'll take cover and try to hide away from you. So the AI kind of plays off of how you approach the scenario.
How are we doing for time on the road? Are we going to get to the Enforcer at this point?
I think you might have enough time.
Why don't we...
So there's a good example. Everyone was in there with guns drawn.
So speaking of guns drawn, I can see in the top corner that you've got a pretty big weapon here. Isn't it time to bring out the
Unleash it.
Rico?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he equipped it.
Yes, I
You
did.
got the assault rifle,
there it
don't
is.
you?
There you go. This is the
There you
Rico's
go.
gun.
So he's got a pistol. Pistol.
It's kind of nice, but you know what?
Oh, there we
Oh.
go. Oh, there we go.
So if anyone's familiar with Just Cause, you'll recognize this weapon. It's a grenade launching pistol, because that just makes sense, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. That won't in any way break your wrist when
No,
you fire it.
no.
Not remotely. And if you fire it sideways like that, even less chance of it breaking your wrist. But
This is Hong Kong. They don't do this sideways.
Oh, it's more of an
handle.
LA
That's
thing,
right.
isn't it?
I
Yeah.
think that's an LA thing. Yeah.
that's good. The Hong Kong guys keep it real, as I believe they say.
Well, it's actually one of the things that, if you're familiar with playing Sleeping Dogs, that we did focus a lot on was the melee combat with weapons and without, because obviously a lot of our inspiration came from Hong Kong action movies, and just the Triads in general are more known for using things that are a little bit more personal.
Up close.
You look in the newspapers and you see these guys who've been hit. And it's not necessarily going to be like a drive-by. It's actually that somebody's come around with a machete and chopped them into bits.
Oh.
And so we really focused on that in the game. And we have both. We have weapons, where you can go in like Raul's doing with a grenade launcher and just blow things up. But my personal favorite is that personal touch you get with a knife. I don't know what that says about me, but
I there's a movie that's like, was it Blade Runner? It's talking about watching being able to watch the life drain away from someone.
there you go.
Yeah, you psychopath. Really. So, quick question. Ziad
Fighting my twin.
Shari is asking about it's a bit more information about the character creation, about changing the appearance. So let's just quickly talk again about how we're going to be doing that.
So you can see actually here, Raul is actually fighting what looks like a mirror image of himself. That's just because we put the build together, so that's just a result of that. But you can choose to swap out lots of different things on your Enforcer.
Yeah.
You can change their clothes, so their pants, shirts, hats, jewelry, tattoos. You can give your Enforcer different tattoos.
Yeah.
You can give them different hairstyles. You can swap out the heads for different styles. You can do accessories like glasses and watches, things like that. And all of that stuff is available you can either access it immediately, or you can unlock things through favors, just the same way you do with weapons. And then we've got some things that we're looking at for the future. That'll be more about customizing how the Enforcer's physical features look, as opposed to just their clothing and things like that.
Okay. So there's another question here from Hitachi33 again. He's kind of asking about how does this world sit within the world of Sleeping Dogs and the timeline? Are we going to be able to pop round to Wei Xin's house and check it out?
Yeah, so this is the Hong Kong as you knew it from Sleeping Dogs, but just prior to Wei Xin's arrival. So this is kind of this is kind of the storm that brings upon the wrath of Wei.
Right.
can think of it that way. So all your beloved characters, you know, Mrs. Chu and Uncle Po and everyone else, you may see them pop up throughout the game in different ways. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but we've got some ideas.
So keep your eyes peeled, really.
Yeah. And all the locations are there,
actually...
so you can still go to the Bam Bam Club, you can go check out the Dry Docks, you can go to Top Glamour Imports. All those places exist. And what we've done is actually taken other areas of North Point that were less developed. Say, for example, there were just an area of residential buildings, and then we've placed in these different turf locations that different rivals will occupy in the game.
Yeah, our favorite, the Golden Koi.
Yeah, there's Golden Koi.
Oh, good work finding that. Nice. So one of the questions we got from one Shizzy said, are there going to be any mini games in the game, like poker or things like that?
Yeah, so we've definitely had a bunch of mini games in Sleeping Dogs, and some of those are making a return in Triad Wars. So some of the operations, we haven't really looked at any operations recently, but in previous Twitch streams we kind of focused on those. And for example, some of the operations are to find another gang stash, which is locked up in like a lockbox.
Yeah.
You'll need to hack the lockbox and figure out the combination, stuff like that. So definitely we've got some ideas for using mini games that you've seen in Sleeping Dogs before, and some new stuff potentially in the future as well.
Turn your lights on, flip the lights on.
I don't know, this time I want them to catch me.
Oh, right, you again, it has been a couple of minutes since you shot anyone.
I was getting itchy.
So what about Winston as well then?
Yeah, Winston. So I don't want to give any spoilers to anybody who's not played Sleeping Dogs.
Don't worry, the discussion thread's just done that.
All right. Well, everybody who got the put to the sword in Sleeping Dogs is still alive and kicking today. So all your favorite characters are still up for grabs in here.
Okay, that's great. So, Amirion, apologies if I've mispronounced that, says, are there any opportunities for height variety in the combat, so shooting down from roofs and things like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we didn't look at them at that particular area just yet, but
Not yet.
we pretty much got a barrier. It's like a decontamination zone around the microphone system. So yeah, we're not touching a thing.
So Raul's getting in the vehicle. One of the things we wanted to talk about today as well is just the contextual nature of weapons in the game, and the fact that they have different uses. Different weapons have different uses at different times. So in this case, Raul's driving around in his sweet exotic car that I won't name by name. Well, let's move on. And he can use any single-handed weapon while he's driving. So what he couldn't do, for example, is use a shotgun, because it's just got too much kickback and he wouldn't be able to handle that one-handed while in the vehicle.
Jump. You got to do that jump.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sorry, Steve, I had to interrupt there. So speaking of drive-bys, can I do a drive-by fish slapping?
You can't. So we're working on something. Actually, I don't want to give too much away, but something similar to that is in the works.
Oh, great. I'm definitely putting
We've
that as
got
a change request.
We've got operations where
Yeah, shoot from up there. Okay, vertical shooting.
Yeah.
here you can see as far as melee weapons go, we've basically got 3 categories, subcategories that those break down into. And you can play with bladed weapons, so things like knives, machetes, butcher's knives, meat cleavers, and then blunt weapons, so things like bats, shovels, and then special weapons, or my favorite category, things like fish and other weird objects that you could just use to bludgeon someone bloody. So what are you going to pick?
I'm gonna pick the shovel.
All right. So Raul's a shovel man. Well, you didn't select there, did you?
Yeah, it is there.
All right.
You
We
know what, I'm gonna
got
go
some
for a
bugs.
knife.
That's all
Let's
right.
go for simple.
There we go.
first.
All right, kitchen knife. You got to get up close and personal that way.
How about a 50 cal pistol?
So yeah, so single-head weapons, generally pistols. We got various range of pistols. Right here we've got 2 that Raul can choose from. They range from automatic pistols to all sorts of special weapons in this category as well. We'll probably have a look at those soon. And then in double-handed weapons, they break down into essentially 3 categories. We've got shotguns, SMGs, and full-on assault rifles. So let's see, what are you gonna pick here?
The UFC.
All right.
do that.
So why'd you pick that one?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
That's got a higher rate of fire, better accuracy, less impact on
Right.
bullets. So that's another thing to actually touch on. So each one of these weapons that we're looking at, each come with a different set of properties associated to the weapon. So, for example, you might have one pistol that's got higher ammo capacity and better accuracy, but low on damage, standard stuff. A second pistol that has high damage, low on capacity, and is slower to reload, stuff like that.
So a quick question, Kebab asks, do we do group hugs?
Group hugs?
I'm pretty sure at the end of the stream we will be doing a group hug. It's like, we're like cheerleaders, we're all doing high fives before we started today's stream, and so we all like to get ourselves as pumped up.
This is a special request or a question? I'm not
sure. It's a question.
It feels like a request.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a group hug to end, but
all right.
With the audio issues we had yesterday, there's no way we're moving these mics. Hi, welcome everybody to the bonus special edition of the Triad Wars Twitch stream. I'm Andrew Collins, I'm the community manager, and I'll let the guys introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, I'm Raul. I'm a technical designer for the project.
Hey guys, Steve, design director on the project.
Okay, so first off, let's start by a quick apology. So for those of you who joined us yesterday, it was we were pretty much assaulted by the technical gremlins. And so we made the call and we thought, let's do this all again because, the weapons are so much fun. Let's just, have a blast. So what we're going to do today is the guys have spent this morning creating a specific build for our stream today. We've got a huge range of weapons that we're going to be showing off. So you'll see some stuff that we've not revealed before yesterday, of course. Yesterday was we're going to call yesterday our dress rehearsal for today.
Live.
So guys, we've got some questions, but yeah, we've got the questions up here. So any questions, just ask those questions. So guys, let's get it started. So Steve, do you want to start talking about the kind of the basics of the weapons in Triad Wars?
Yeah, so we wanted to touch on the weapons today, as Andrew's been describing, but there's a bunch of stuff. So first thing first is new in Triad Wars is how many weapons you can hold at any one time. So we have a loadout system that you can hold up to 3 weapons and carry around at the same time, and then swap between as you're running around the world or raiding players. And that's broken up into basically 3 main categories. You can hold up to 1 melee weapon, 1 single-handed ranged weapon, and a double-handed ranged weapon. And we've got a few different ones to choose from, so Raul maybe will flip through, have a look, see what we got here. So you can see.
Just a quick, Raul, do you want to show the controller to everybody? So we've had some questions about whether we use the controller.
We are playing on the controller, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So sorry, Steve, you were talking about the different weapons?
Yeah, so we've got quite a range